Alright, today we have the Maverick Microbe short course truck, the Flux edition. Maverick is the budget brand from HPI. It has a 1626 8000 kV brushless motor, oil-filled adjustable shocks, 0.85 kilogram servo, brushless ESC that can handle 2S. Says it has an aluminum chassis. Let's take a look at it. Suspension feels very good. Put it in the sun, you can see that nice metallic yellow. Should be very easy to see while you're driving it around. For holding the body on, we have two body pins in the rear here. And then the body lifts up and off to the front. So our tiny little 8000 kV brushless motor, our brushless ESC, the 2-in-1 ESC receiver that they use on the brush models. That's just the receiver for the brushless model. To access the battery, on either side back here, you have a little tab. You rotate that out, and then you can lift the whole receiver up and out of the way. You have your battery, a 350 milliamp 2S battery. All right, it came with a quick start guide, your owner's manual, USB charger for your battery, standard T-wrench. Then it looks like you get a spare spur gear and 2 extra pinion gears. All right, for the transmitter, you're getting what they're branding as the MTX 702, but it looks like a standard like Fly Sky, I believe. Comes with a lot of different models. Got your steering trims, dual rates, dip switches for different controls, channel reversals. Fits nice in one hand. All right, we're gonna take it out, see how it drives. We'll do a top speed test on the included battery. It says 19 miles an hour on the box. That's actually exactly what I got with my brushless converted Mini T. And this is actually a lot cheaper than doing that, so I have high hopes for this truck. Hopefully it works out well. And then being short course trucks are always pretty tough. The body covers the wheels and such. We'll probably hit up a little skate park, see how it bashes. All right, let's see how she drives. All right, we're gonna start off with the top speed test while the battery is fully charged. That yellow metallic paint's looking great in the sun. All right, let's see what we get. Little traction roll there. This is pretty smooth pavement. Yeah, really easy traction roll. Yeah, just barely tapped the brakes there and it rolled over. Well, let's see what we got for a top speed. 21 miles an hour, so better than advertised. Let's try and back that up. Give it full throttle from a standing stop. Pull a little to the left. Be easy on my turns. Don't want a traction roll. All right, let's see if we backed up that 21. Yep, 21 miles an hour. Very impressive for such a little truck. All right, driving around without the GPS on top. Maybe it's a little less top heavy. Hopefully it doesn't roll so easy. Yeah, it seems to slide a little flatter without the GPS on the top. Do some donuts. This might be a good candidate to add a gyro to. Maybe keep it a little less tail happy. But I guess compared to other two-wheel drive short course trucks I've driven, it's not that far off. All right, so a lot of what I do with my Micro T is actually take it on walks and just rip it up and down the sidewalk while I'm cruising along. Let's see how the Microbe does. Driving one-handed. I will say my Micro T seems a lot more planted. Oop, I think I may have driven in the grass. Trying to see how far the range was. More than enough for a micro. Actually gets pretty good traction on this concrete. Doesn't slide around as much as the sealed pavement as earlier. Still traction roll though. Let's try it on the dirt. Jump. All right, that was kind of cool. It's getting around pretty good for such a small truck. I think this area is normally kind of flooded. I think they're doing some construction. Yeah, so it'll still bounce around on the uneven surface, but still doing desert truck things, short course truck things. All right, so the little skate park I wanted to bash at actually had a few kids there, so just set up some ramps in the parking lot here and see how she does. Barrel roll. Let's go for the big jump. Wind's picking up right as I start bashing. Such a tiny little truck will probably blow away. Durability test. Hard nosedive. I think this is going to fall into a category of being too light to brake itself. Really not enough speed, even though 21 is pretty good for this little truck. The wind's picking up. I almost saw it stop in the air there. So not the best air control, only two-wheel drive, little wheels. That was almost perfect. Sweet. That was really cool. All right, so remember when I said this thing's probably too light to brake itself? Well, I must have spoke too soon. I broke a body post. Luckily, it looks like you can replace that by itself. I don't have to replace the whole rear shock tower. But I did find a weakness. I have managed to get the front end to pop off a few times too, but that just pops right back on. Getting some black seal coat on the body. Normally a little rubbing compound takes that right off. All right, so I had a really good time with the Microbe SCT truck. It was a little faster than expected, 21 miles an hour. Faster than my brushless converted Micro T. The suspension was super smooth. I was very impressed with that. It did seem slightly top heavy. It would traction roll from time to time, but overall it handled pretty good. I had a blast taking it off some of the ramps and jumps. Being two-wheel drive with small tires, it didn't have the greatest air control. I ordered up that new body post. It was $6 for Main. I had to buy all the body posts, so I'll have some spares, but not too bad. I really like how it looks, that yellow metallic paint. The body's fairly thick, very tough. Overall, this is a really fun little micro truck. Suspension's great, handles pretty good. Faster than I expected. Lots of fun. All right, thanks for watching.